Hi everyone. I wanted to start off first by apologising for not being able to be at my sister's 21st birthday. I miss you all greatly and send my love to everyone down under. When it comes to describing someone as incredible as my sister, there's so many stories and so many words and so many ways that you can describe someone as amazing as Laura that it sort of becomes hard to put it into, a 5 to 6 minute video. However, I think that you know, I think that the type of person who my sister is someone who I've always seen as a role model, someone who's always been there for me, and I still can't believe that she's all grown up and 21 years old. I still remember Laura, mum and dad always telling us when you were born how I used to stare at you and shake my head and wonder who this person was that was stealing my chocolate and stealing my ice cream and all dressed in pink and had people squeezing their cheeks all the time and was stealing all the attention. However, I think as time went on, we became a lot closer, and you play such an important role within our family. I remember when you went to China, every day I was always wondering, where's Laura, where's Laura, where's Laura, when's Laura coming home? And you've always been there for me most of the time without me even asking. Some of my fondest memories of you was when you were really young and you'd saved up a lot of money. And it had been your birthday and you wanted to buy something special. And I convinced you to purchase, to spend $250, which was all your money, on Pokemon cards, telling you that they would be in investment for your future. And you decided that you had to listen to me because you had to trust your brother. And that was one of my pranks I ever played on you, actually. I still remember it. And then you got me back telling me that I must give my friends who love orange juice apple juice, and they were all spitting it out, and I was sitting there very confused. Aside from those sort of jokes, though, you've been there for me, through both the good times and the bad times. I remember when I was in year 2 and I had detention for not having my hat or my kippah. It was a long time ago. I'm not sure what I didn't have. Anyway, the point is I had detention, and you insisted on having detention too. And you went up to the teacher and you said, I must have detention. She said, why? And you said, I have to be with my brother. And she just shook her head and she said, sure, go for it. And you dragged Rachel along and you sat next to me on the bench because I had detention. Or all your friends were running around having fun. And, whenever I've needed someone or whenever I've needed advice or someone to turn to, or I've had, difficulty planning things or getting organized, you're always there. Aside from pranks and jokes, though, you're one of the most forgiving people I know. I remember when Mum and Dad went to China, and I had a out-of-control party very similar to Project X, and people came and destroyed your room, and I came up with this whole story that the burglars came and stole all of Mum and Dad's alcohol. You still stood up for me, and you still had my back, and I appreciate that. Aside from all those sorts of times, we socialize in the same social circle, so we've got the same group of friends. A lot of people, they don't have a sister. They either have an older brother or sometimes not even a sibling at all. And a lot of people go through their whole lives without even having a friend as amazing as you. Not only are you an amazing sister, you're an amazing friend as well. You're my best friend, and you're my sister. That I'm really proud of. A lot of people say, when they come up to me and say, do you have a sister? Do you have a brother? Do you have siblings? They say, oh yeah, I've got a younger sister. They say, how do you two get along? And my first response is always, even though she's younger than me, and even though she's shorter than me, and even though she can't properly catch a ball sometimes, I still look up to her as my role model figure. And I'm so proud to have you as my sister. Whenever it's, not just because we go to the same parties and we socialize with the same group of friends, because, whenever I look at, my weekend and I try and think, what have I got coming up? I always go to you because you're, my social secretary, you're the organizer. You always know what's going on, from organizing trips when we went to Thailand together, from even helping me for exchange. I probably wouldn't be here in America if it wasn't for you. The night before, you should have seen Laura. You can't have this, you must have this. It's got to be in this bag with this label, in this folder, with this tag, with this piece of paper, with this name tag, with this box, in this bag. I didn't really have a say anymore at that point. However, I wouldn't be here without you. A little bossy and a little difficult sometimes. However, I wouldn't, I'd be, so lost without you. I wouldn't be in America. I wouldn't have gone to Thailand. I wouldn't have had all those amazing experiences. And I think that role model presence that you have, I'm sure I'm not the only person that looks up to you. Just look around you, tonight, everyone came to our house for your birthday, just to be there with you. And they're probably people have even come from Melbourne, and they see you as a role model as well. Hi everyone, by the way. They also see you as a role model, in addition to being a straight A student and always maintaining great grades. Laura, me, mum and dad, the whole family and all your friends are also proud of you, and we know you're going to make a huge success in whatever path you choose to follow. I hope you all have a great night. Make sure to have a Corona for me. I miss you all terribly, and I'm sorry I can't be there. Farewell, everyone. That's all for now. Koala hug.